At 64, George Clooney stands as one of Hollywood's most enduring figures. A man who has graced the big screen for decades, from heartthrob roles in romantic comedies to award-winning performances that solidified his place in cinematic history. But behind the charm, wit, and charisma, Clooney has now faced a health crisis that no amount of fame, fortune, or adoration could shield him from. When news broke that George had been privately battling cancer, fans across the world were left in shock. For a man who has spent much of his life controlling the narrative of his public persona, this revelation didn't just raise concern, it raised questions. How long had he known? What did his wife, Amal Clooney, endure in silence? And most importantly, why now? Amal Clooney, celebrated human rights lawyer, wife, and mother, has always carried herself with an aura of quiet strength. While she stands beside world leaders, defends victims of injustice, and speaks with unwavering confidence in courtrooms across the globe, Amal was also managing something deeply personal behind closed doors. Insiders reveal that Amal carried much of the emotional weight of Clooney's diagnosis privately. She was the anchor in the storm, shielding their twins from fear, while also encouraging George to seek the best possible treatment. Imagine having to argue life-changing cases in front of international courts, all while quietly supporting your husband through one of the darkest chapters of his life. That dual burden has shown a side of Amal the public rarely gets to see, her vulnerability and her devotion. One of the most puzzling aspects of this revelation is the timing. Why would Clooney wait until now to speak about his diagnosis? According to close sources, Clooney initially wanted to keep the matter private to avoid public pity and speculation. For years, he has prided himself on being a figure of control, carefully crafting the narrative of his career, from choosing when to step into the spotlight to how much of his personal life he shares. But cancer changes everything. It strips away control, forces humility, and demands honesty, not just with family but also with the fans who have supported him throughout his journey. Clooney reportedly reached a point where he realized that speaking out was not just about sharing his truth. It was about helping others who may be fighting similar battles. Marriage in Hollywood is already tested by pressures most couples will never experience: paparazzi, endless speculation, and the constant balance of careers and family life. But health battles bring a unique strain. Friends of the couple describe moments of tension, where Amal's fear for George's future collided with his natural instinct to downplay his illness. Yet, in those moments something else emerged, a deeper bond. Sources say George often credits Amal with keeping him strong, even in his weakest moments. She became his advocate, his confidant, and his greatest supporter. Together, they navigated late-night hospital visits, whispered prayers, and the uncertainty that comes with a diagnosis like cancer. When Clooney's Bombshell became public, fans across the world rallied in support. Social media flooded with messages of encouragement, stories of personal battles with cancer, and heartfelt wishes for his recovery. For many, Clooney's openness made him more relatable than ever before. Behind the glitz and glamour, he too was human, facing the same fears, anxieties, and challenges millions of families endure every day. That connection has created a ripple effect, with cancer organizations reporting spikes in donations and awareness campaigns after Clooney's revelation. Sometimes, it takes a familiar face to remind the world of the fragility of life and the importance of early detection, awareness, and empathy. Behind the headlines, Amal's role cannot be overstated. Balancing motherhood, her demanding legal career, and her husband's health crisis required sacrifices that only those closest to her fully understand. She often appeared at public events with grace, but those who know her best say she carried the private burden with quiet dignity. Now that the truth is out, the focus turns to the future. Clooney has always been a man who looks forward, often speaking about projects, passions, and plans with infectious enthusiasm. But health battles shift priorities. Sources close to the couple reveal that Clooney has begun to reconsider the pace of his career, choosing to dedicate more time to family, health, and meaningful projects rather than chasing the next blockbuster. This transition reflects a larger theme: the legacy he wants to leave behind. Clooney has always been more than just a Hollywood icon. He's a philanthropist, an activist, and a man devoted to making a difference. In the face of cancer, that legacy takes on even greater significance. If the story moved you as much as it moved us, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest updates on the stories shaping Hollywood and beyond. Share this video with someone who needs a reminder of the power of resilience, love, and hope.